Hey everybody, Mike Griffith here. Welcome to today's halftime show, and it's a stunner so far in Sanford Stadium. The Georgia Bulldogs continue to shoot themselves in the foot. Undisciplined play, bad play calls, bad decisions by Kirby Smart. I can guarantee you that is not going to be a happy locker room. There's going to be a lot of anger and frustration in there. Listen, Georgia is a better football team than Tennessee. This is a game they should still win by 3 touchdowns once they calm down and recognize they need to play football and start thinking with their head instead of the ego. Why Kirby Smart would go for it for his own 35-yard line on a 4th down, I have no earthly idea. You've got the best defense in the country. You've got to punt the ball with Jake Camarda and challenge Tennessee to drive the length of the field. They're not going to do that unless you have the undisciplined actions of one George Pickens, who wasn't even in the game and managed to get a personal foul, squirting water on a Tennessee player, Jared Garantano, 15-yard penalty that led to a go-ahead score for the Volunteers. I cannot believe the level of undisciplined play that I've seen from Georgia to this extent. Georgia is not playing like a championship football team. You see the talent, though. They've outgained Tennessee by 80 yards, clearly a better team. But 21-17, Tennessee at the half. Jared Garantano, give Jim Chaney credit. A very efficient 11 of 13 for Jared Garantano, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Tennessee can't get anything going on the ground. They have 11 carries for 19 yards. They only average 1.7 yards per carry. Very one-dimensional team, and yet and still they have been able to score 3 touchdowns on Georgia. The first one right out of the gate, Trey Hill, you saw him, he had problems at Arkansas, snaps the ball over Stetson Bennett's head. Bennett looked like he knocked it into the end zone instead of falling on it. I don't know why. Zamir White falls on it but couldn't stay on it, and the Tennessee players on it, 7-0. Georgia was able to recover, though, and we're thinking, okay, Georgia comes back with 2 touchdowns, an impressive 5-play, 63-yard drive. Zamir White pounds it in from 1. And then in the second quarter, Stetson Bennett on a keeper on a 12-play, 95-yard drive. Okay, it's 14-7, Tennessee's dead. And then that crazy decision to go for it from their own 35-yard line by Kirby Smart. Not sure what it's the only way Tennessee is going to beat you, Georgia, is if you keep beating yourselves with bad decisions on 4th down and personal foul penalties. Don't need that. I didn't mind the last one. I don't mind going for it from the one. Listen, Zamir White is supposed to be something that he's just not. 2 cracks from the 1-yard line, he was stopped. First game of the season, he was stopped on a 3rd and 2 and 4th and 1 at Arkansas. I'm just not sure when that change is going to happen. I know they have faith in him. He's working his way back from the knee, but he's not there yet. You got to get that yard. Tennessee, conversely, converted on a 4th and 1. So the power game right now going Tennessee's way, but I don't know why, if you're Georgia, you're even putting it in this position. So a crazy start to the game for Georgia. Down 21-17. You're going to learn something about Stetson Bennett in the second half and this Georgia offense. They're going to have to stay poised. Clearly the better team if they can stay out of their own way. Earlier today, we saw Texas A&M knock off Florida 41-38, last-second field goal. A&M linebacker Buddy Johnson forced a fumble at midfield. Aggies move down the field, kick a chip shot field goal from 26 as time expires. Down go the Gators. And then a stunning upset in Columbia, Missouri. Doesn't really have much of an effect on Georgia, I don't think. Missouri over LSU 45-41. And in the Sam Pittman Bowl, Auburn is up on Arkansas 17-0 in the second quarter. Just when you thought you had it figured out with transitive properties, Arkansas goes there and plays like a bunch of hogs and slop. And Auburn in control of that game at Jordan-Hare Stadium. We're going to come back here to Sanford Stadium in Athens just a little bit, see how Georgia gets. Remember, Tennessee gets the ball first. That's not necessarily a bad thing because I expect this Georgia defense to force a 3-and-out. Georgia gets the ball. Kirby Smart's going to say enough with the games. Put the guys in there that can play. Kenny McIntosh, boy, I'll tell you, if there's something that Georgia fans have to be excited about, Kenny McIntosh with a really good start. 6 carries for 34 yards. He's averaging 5.7. Zamir, 14 carries, 31 yards, averaging 2.2. Kenny McIntosh, also 2 catches for 36 yards, 18 yards per catch. Seen Trey McKitty, the tight end from Florida State. He's making his debut in a Georgia uniform. 2 catches for 47 yards for Trey McKitty. Look for him to be a target. Jermaine Burton, that 43-yard run, you saw some of those skills from Jermaine Burton. Also had a catch for 11 yards. They got the ball down there near the goal line. Really expect Georgia to cash in the second half. After the game today, Brandon Adams and Terrence Edwards are going to be doing a post-game show. I know they're hoping right now that this first half will be the sort of aberration like we saw against Arkansas, and everybody will be all rainbows and unicorns, and Georgia will have pulled away, and you'll be able to laugh about this first half. I can tell you that Kirby Smart will not laugh about this first half. He will not find it amusing that he wasn't able to pick up a yard on a 4th and 1 from his own 35 or a yard from the Tennessee 1-yard line on 2 carries. You've got problems. Georgia needs to make some very pressing personnel, formation, play calling decisions, needs to settle down and start playing like Georgia. Kirby cannot allow Jeremy Pruitt to pull him into this sort of macho 4th and 1 battle. Kirby is holding all the cards. Georgia has all the talent. They've simply got to get out of their way in the second half and play the best players. Put your guys in position to make plays. Yeah, don't need to be playing a single coverage on Jim Chaney. So far, he's dialed it up. Jim Chaney is winning this battle of the minds with Dan Lanning right now as of halftime. Let's see what happens with the adjustments. Remember last year, Tennessee was up 14-13 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and Georgia had a 2-minute drive by Jake Fromm, pulled away and won that game 43-14 in Neyland Stadium. I expect Georgia to come back and win this game. The spread is 12.5. I still believe Georgia is going to win by more than 12.5 points. I could be wrong. This could come back to bite me, but my feeling is Georgia will settle down and win this football game, and Brandon Adams and Terrence Edwards will be coming at you right after the game to recap it. I've got a live blog going. I got to get back to it. I hope you guys enjoy the second half. You wanted an exciting football season. You have got it. Tennessee, Georgia, border state rivalry, 21-17.5. Getting ready to start back up. Vols get the ball first. Thanks for joining me on the Halftime Report here on Dog Nation.